What do I think of Slipstream? I think it's a community space that brings people together. The name Slipstream is the path of least resistance behind a moving object, like a bike race, follow the leader and it breaks the wind, or birds flying in the air. And I like to think that Slipstream is that for a community. It's that break from the stress of the day and allows me to, whether it's coffee or cocktails, you can come in and have a great experience. I'm Ryan Fleming, and I'm the co-founder of Slipstream in DC. It was started by my wife and I. I left my job in finance, she left her job in healthcare consulting, and we started it together. The first cup of coffee that I had that really opened my eyes to what coffee can become was probably a very unassuming cup that I had across the street from my office in San Francisco. It was the first time in a coffee shop that I had a pour-over coffee. I was amazed by the use of a scale and timer and really opened my eyes to what coffee could be. That started my research. It started me caring about what the coffee actually was beyond just caffeine to get me through the day. I just love the story of coffee. It's something that people have every day, and it has this complex journey from farm to cup, and something that I'm pretty sure I'll be learning about until I die, and it's just always going to surprise me. From the broader perspective, it's like the start of the day where everything's possible, and it's also something that brings people together. The first aha moment I had was I took a class on roasting. The roasting master who was giving the class owned a coffee farm in Panama, and he had his geisha natural processed coffee in one of the cups that we were tasting. And I tasted it, and it was the most incredible cup I've ever had. It tasted like live blueberries and super bright and like amazing acidity. And at that moment, I wanted to share coffee with as many people as possible. And that's when I made the decision to start Slipstream. So after that epiphany, I went home and told Miranda, we have to do something, like this is it. Like I've always been looking for that excuse to leave finance, that excuse to do something entrepreneurial. It's always been in my spirit, and I'm like, I want to share this with as many people as possible. And at that point, I enrolled in a class in Portland to learn how to service espresso machines, and the best part of that class was just meeting a whole bunch of coffee owners, and I figured like the best way to learn is just talk to as many owners as I possibly could and learn about this business. We looked at Boston and New York and DC. And when I went to DC, which I've never actually spent much time in previous to Slipstream, I fell in love immediately. There was an amazing community, extremely appreciative of quality and always looking for something new. And the growth was incredible. New neighborhoods were actually coming up overnight, which is something that that doesn't happen in big cities often. And like, this is the place for Slipstream. I love the one-in-one, which is just a split shot of espresso. You have one shot of espresso and then a shot of espresso with milk. You get to enjoy the espresso without anything added, and then how it changes when you add perfectly steamed milk. The menu at Slipstream, whether it's coffee, food, or cocktails, we really wanted to make sure that we offered the highest quality possible. So it's a limited menu and very focused so that everything we have is something that we're proud of, and also something that we can use to tell the story. So the way I really thought about the menu and tried to make sure that everything had our quality standards, I think was helped by the fact that I wasn't in the restaurant industry at all. I came at it as a complete outsider. None of the normal ways of doing things kind of held true for me, and I just wanted to have a quality product and figured out a way to get there. And I would talk to the chefs we were working with at the time and just figure out a way to make it happen and have that conversation. And I think that sometimes looking at things from an outside perspective is super valuable, and you miss a lot of really obvious things if you don't do that. My mission at Slipstream is to try to create a community space. So when I was looking for a second location, community had to be at the core of it. I wanted to find a place where Slipstream could be a part of the foundation and try to draw a community together. And what better place than Capitol Riverfront, where the community was literally being created at the same time that I would be building Slipstream. So that paired with just the amazing planning that the community had, like, it just seemed like a perfect fit for Slipstream. I mean, when starting Slipstream there, I was so focused on the design, so focused on making sure every detail was perfect, testing every type of coffee we were going to serve, doing trainings, that I kind of forgot that the whole goal was to make a profit, like, and to get customers coming the door. Like, and to this day, like, my favorite day of Slipstream ever was when we had to close for a day in January, forget which year it was. And I went to shovel the driveway just so that we had a chance the next day. And some people were walking by, and I went in and brewed them some coffee and just put out on Twitter, hey, stop by, coffee's on us. And the whole place was full just with people who lived nearby, and I'm just brewing it, just myself and Miranda, my wife, and we gave like a few air pots of coffee away, and it felt like a ski lodge in there, and everyone was great, everyone was happy. Like, if I didn't have to charge people, this would be amazing.